Coming up on Jackson State News Now. A shooting over the weekend at JSU's University Point left some residents concerned.
Another deadly shooting at an HBCU. Details on what happened at Winston-Salem State University is still ahead. Hello everyone, and welcome to Jackson State News Now. I'm Laura Coleman.
And I'm Gerald Harris. Thank you for joining us today. Top of our news today, over the weekend, many students were alarmed to hear gunshots ringing out in University Point. Several students said there were a couple parties going on campus, and according to Snapchat stories, there was about to be a fight when someone fired several shots in the air to prevent the fighting. No one was injured, and JSU police hasn't released any information about the incident. Also, the last crime reported was on September 30th, 2015. This was a homecoming weekend at Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina, but instead of celebrating, and students were mourning the loss of their own. A candlelight vigil was held on Sunday on campus after a fatal shooting of a student overnight. 19-year-old Anthony White, a junior of Charlotte, was killed. Students are still processing the tragedy. Another student was also injured but has been released from the hospital. The gunman is still on the loose. Winston-Salem police have taken over the investigation. They are not identifying any suspects or motive. Counseling has been made available to anyone on campus who needs it. Classes will resume normal on Monday.
Developing now, all three suspects in the murder of Keenan Morris are in custody. 18-year-old Cameron Green is charged with capital murder. Darius Scott and Draquan Tucker, who are both 18, are being charged with capital murder and robbery in the first degree. Their bond information is not yet available.
Still to come on Jackson State News Now, we'll have a look at your weather forecast, and we'll take a look around news around the state.
I'm Alexia Norwood, a graduate of Jackson State University, and I'd like to challenge you to join me in the 10 for 10 challenge. All you have to do is to give $10 to Jackson State University and challenge 10 of your friends to do the same and upload the video. Be sure to tag at Jackson State on Facebook and use hashtag JSU10for10 on Instagram and on Twitter.
Still to come on Jackson State News Now, we'll have a look at your weather forecast.
And we take a look at news around the state. In addition to that, we have our Money Mondays later on in the show. This is Jackson State News Now.
And welcome back to Jackson State News Now. Hinds County E911 have taken the final steps to join the state's wireless information system.
County Supervisor Peggy Calhoun says ongoing failures with the county system are putting first responders' lives at risk. The Mississippi Wireless Information System, with its 22,000 current users, would allow interoperability not only within agencies in Hinds County, but throughout the state. Coast Transit Authority's fleet of new fuel-electric hybrid buses will roll this week, providing new low-floor buses for passengers and savings for its CTA. The new buses will go into service November 9th, replacing buses on Route 34, which serves past roads and connects the transit centers in Biloxi and Gulfport, and Route 24, which serves Kessler Air Force Base.
Gulfport police are asking for the public's help in locating a suspect who is accused of robbing a man and shooting him several times inside of his apartment. The Sun-Herald reports an arrested warrant has been issued for 22-year-old Raheem Tyrese Richardson. He is wanted for aggravated assault and armed robbery. Police say Richardson is 5'6" and weighs 120 pounds. They say he should be considered armed and dangerous.
That takes a look at stories making news around the state. A MetroJet official has rejected the possibility that technical problems or human error could have caused the crash of Flight 9268. Speaking at a news conference in Moscow, he said that an external influence is the only reasonable explanation for the plane splitting apart in midair.
Investigators now hope to gain vital clues from the plane's black boxes recovered on Saturday. CNN's Richard Quest discusses if Metrojet's official is correct in his theory of how the aircraft came down.
There is no way at this point he can make such a statement other than in the most general terms. And if you listen carefully to the translation, it's not entirely clear he was saying what everybody seems to think he was saying. He's basically saying that when flown normally, the pilot cannot fly it in an unsafe condition. Therefore, there has to be some other reason for it to have fallen out of the sky. But nobody at this point can know that reason. I'll give you an example. You know, we talk about the plane broke up in the sky. Yes, it did, but it could have broken up either because of an explosive or because of catastrophic airframe failure or from some other loss of control in flight, which then puts such forces on the airframe that it breaks apart. And we won't know those reasons until there's a forensic examination of the wreckage, explosive residue, the pitting, the various tears and rips of the metal, and ultimately the black boxes. They haven't been decoded yet as far as we know, and it's still not clear where that's going to take place.
Just ahead on Jackson State News Now, we have your complete forecast.
And if you love pizza as much as I do, then you'll want to stick around for the Money Monday.
Hello, I'm Coach McCall from the Jackson State University Tigers, and I personally would like to challenge all of you to give to JSU 10 for 10 Challenge. All you have to do is give $10, 10 recurring dollars to JSU, and challenge 10 of your friends. And go out there on the website and post it to your account at hashtag JSU 10 for 10.
Welcome back to Jackson State News Now. It's time to take a look at your weather.
According to the National Weather Service, current conditions in the capital city, it's a patchy day of drizzle with a slight chance of showers through the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 71.
Taking a look at the national radar, both coasts are getting the share of the rain. It's especially needed on the west coast in California, which may help the drought situation out there. But too much rain can add to the mudslide potential. Back in the southeast and along the Atlantic coast, they are getting shocked by the system that moved throughout Jackson over the weekend.
Taking a look at the regional radar, you can see the patches of rain around central Mississippi. But the drizzle is nothing compared to what we experienced over the weekend.
Now our forecast for tonight, the Weather Service predicts patchy fog after midnight, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low around 59. North-northwest winds around 5 miles per hour, becoming calming in the evening. And for Tuesday, a little fog in the morning, but otherwise partly sunny with a high near 76. Calm winds becoming north-northeast around 5 miles per hour. A low Tuesday around 59 degrees.
Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high near 78 with a low around 62. Thursday should be about the same, but with a high near 80, but Thursday night, the rain returns. There's a 20% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 68.
Now it's time for a segment we call Money Mondays.
In this week's Money Monday, the box office picks up steam. A major fuel corporation prepares to pink slip thousands, and a money app shows pizza is popular with millennials. It's cheap, and it's what 20-somethings pay for most often, according to data from Venmo. Never heard of Venmo? It's a popular app millennials use to transfer money to each other in just a matter of seconds. It's owned by PayPal. Venmo Pizza, the app, is free for now, unless you use a credit card to pay someone. And you don't have to use the same bank as the person you're transferring money to. But Venmo has a fun quirk. When users send money, they have to include a brief message frequently. Venmo users just put an emoji in the message line, and pizza is the most popular message or emoji. Energy giant Chevron is set to cut up to 7,000 jobs. That means about 10% of the company's global workforce will get a pink slip. Low crude oil prices are fueling the cuts. The company is also selling billions in assets and cutting its exploration budget to survive what's expected to be a long industry slowdown. Last month, ConocoPhillips also announced plans to cut its workforce by about 10%. Moviegoers wanted action and thrills during this weekend's Halloween box office. Coming in at number 3 is The Bridge of Spies, starring Tom Hanks, grossing just over $8 million. Sliding into the number 2 spot is Sony's PG-rated Goosebumps, making $10.2 million. Topping the weekend's box office, bringing in $11.4 million, is The Martian starring Matt Damon and distributed by 20th Century Fox. That's your Money Monday report for November the 2nd. Back to you, Gerald.
Thank you, Laura. It's time for sports here on Jackson State News Now as we get highlights from the Tiger victory over Valley State University.
What comes to mind when you think about Drive? Breakthroughs in research, artistic design, the latest technology, hand in hand with education. Think JSU. We have a rich history and we're a growing part of your community with campuses in Jackson, Madison, downtown, and a comprehensive online learning program. We're everywhere you are, challenging minds and changing lives. So what are you waiting for? Come, be a part of JSU.
It is now time for your Jackson State News Now Sports Report. JSU hit the road and headed up to the Mississippi Delta to face former coach of the Tigers in Valley State. MASCOM Major Robert Johnson ran for 120 yards, and Ryan Deason kicked a career-high tying 4 field goals to help Jackson State beat Mississippi Valley State 26-16.
Turning to the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys took to the AT&T field against the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. Lufkin, Texas native Dez Bryant made his return to the lineup for the Cowboys and hit the field after an early season injury. But the Cowboy fans are upset. The Seahawks clipped the Cowboys by 1 point with a final score of 13-12. The Who Dat Nation should be feeling pretty good after a tough battle against the Giants. More than 73,000 attended the game that kept fans on edge until the final quarter. But an impressive day by quarterback Drew Brees with 7 touchdowns and a last-second field goal helped push the Saints over the Giants with a 52-49 win.
And congratulations to the World Series champions, the Kansas City Royals. It didn't take fans long to begin their celebration of the hard-fought Game 5. The game went to 12 innings, but the KC bested the Mets with a final score of 7-2. And that's your JSNN Sports Report.
Thank you for watching Jackson State News Now.
Part of the Jackson State News Network.